Welcome to the Empire Deluxe Combined Edition Kickstarter campaign. My name is Mark Kincaid, owner of the Empire Deluxe series. Empire Deluxe is the classic, simple, abstract turn-based strategy wargame. The objective is to capture cities on the map. In its simplest form, a player starts with one city, uses that city to begin producing units, resulting in the expansion to conquest of more cities. The only problem is, other players are trying to do the same thing. Empire Deluxe is a game with a nearly 5-decade legacy. Its origins come from the game of Empire initially started on Unix systems in the 70s, when people wore polyester clothing. Walter Bright brought it to the PC in the 80s with the acclaimed Empire Wargame of the Century. The programmer working with Bright on that title, Mark Baldwin, would move on in the early 90s to develop Empire Deluxe. Both games were consistently ranked high in Computer Gaming World and GameSpy at the time. Unfortunately, by the end of the decade, as with many classic titles of that time, the game began to disappear and slowly headed towards abandonware. Being a superfan nerd and not wanting the game to die completely, I acquired the rights from Baldwin and re-released the game in 2003 as Empire Deluxe Internet Edition. A year later, I would release another version that changed the game and added features, calling that one Empire Deluxe Enhanced Edition. This version opened up modification possibilities as well as adding new units and rules to the game. Empire Deluxe Combined Edition takes the play from all of those versions and wraps them under one game. The player is able to pick and choose which unit set to play and cherry pick which rules they want. The player can also select the terms of conquest from a set of victory conditions. The player is able to specify the size of the map. The game comes with 2 open-sourced mapmaker programs which can generate terrain and place initial starting points on the map of any specified size. The game itself has an API which will allow you to add more customized mapmakers. The game also comes with a map editor and scenario maker for creation of maps and scenarios by hand. Empire Deluxe Combined Edition comes with 3 different AI player types. The source code for these players will all be open source so they can be modified. As with the map makers, additional custom-made AI players can be created and shared. Over its long history, the user interface for the game has evolved. In this version, I have improved the interface such that unit cycling and management is easier, and the game has a faster flow with larger forces. The interface has several dozen commands which can be contextually invoked through control buttons and bindable hotkeys. Since my shop is made up of one person and this is a niche game, I do everything, and so I am always resource constrained. I do not hide this fact, and I am not able to make large investments in artwork or animation, and the interface and AI is only what my own time and skills can bring to bear. I try to leverage the ability for fans to make the game better through modification capabilities of the game. Thanks to the powerful Unity engine, with this version I am able to do much more than I was ever able to do on my own before. But the game is still very simple in appearance. I have tried my best to let the gameplay shine through, for that is the true magic of Empire Deluxe. Some computer game projects on Kickstarter have had a fairly unreliable past. I felt it was important not to hold this campaign until the game was there. So I have worked full-time on this game for the past year, and the game itself is nearly done. The game is very playable, and over the course of this Kickstarter, you will be able to watch a few stream playthroughs of the game. So why have a Kickstarter? Namely for 2 reasons. First, to get the word out that the game will be released in the fall, introducing what the game is about with the hope of widening the audience and increasing the community. Second, to give those interested an opportunity to help complete this project and buy in at a discounted price. This will not be a Kickstarter with a lot of fancy gimmicks and stretch goals. Instead, almost every day I will try to introduce information about the game through detailed explanations, videos, interviews, and streaming demos. I believe time will pass quickly with a ton of information being presented in daily updates. By the end of the crowdfunding period, regardless of whether you are a veteran player or this game is completely new to you, you should have plenty of info about the game. If you are interested, Just make sure you pledge before the time expires. And please spread the word about this campaign to those you think would be interested. So thank you for sitting through my pitch. There will be much more information to come. Thank you for your consideration of funding Empire Deluxe Combined Edition.